everybody. Welcome to Agile Parent Entrepreneur. This is Melinda Chan. Today, I'm speaking with James Oliver, the CEO of WeMontage. Their company allows you to find your favorite family pictures, create a beautiful montage, and they will print it out as wallpaper for your home. It's an awesome idea, and their product has been featured in a lot of media outlets such as Today's Show. So now let's listen to James' journey to starting this company and his advice for parent entrepreneur. And stay tuned to the next part of this interview where we have a surprise guest coming to our show as well.
And I wanted to make one, but there was no way to do it. So I went about creating a company. So I'm the guy that decides he wants to start a company that requires really complicated custom software without knowing how to write a line of code, right? So yeah. I'm that guy who's just incredibly a glutton awesome. For punishment, obviously, right? So I emptied out my savings, the last $35,000 of my savings, and decided I was going to somehow get an alpha or beta version of the site built, and somehow get this thing off the ground. And just after really so the project was only supposed to take 3 months to build the website. So I have a good friend of mine who told me when you're building software, you could do, you can build it fast, you can build it inexpensively, you can build it really well, but you only get to pick 2, right?
Yeah. And what did you pick?
Well, I had to do it inexpensively, which meant, and I wanted to do it really well, which means instead of taking 3 months to launch, it took a year. Right. So wow. Financially, I was not prepared for that. So we got to the end of that year and I was out of cash. My wife was pregnant with twins. I was literally working in the mall during the holidays time, just trying to make a couple of dollars until I could, figure something else out, get this business off the ground.
Yeah.
And then I was lucky enough to get into a tech startup accelerator called Generator in Wisconsin. So I got accepted into that, and I knew that would give me the credibility that I needed to make a really solid go at launching WeMontage. But what happened was, so my wife was pregnant, and then unexpectedly we started having some complications with my son's blood flow. So she went on bed rest, and they were like, "Well, usually it's a couple of weeks before we have to remove the kids." So the next week we had to take the babies out. And so my twins, Thaddeus and Zoe, they weighed 2 pounds each.
Wow.
And but from there, 2 days later, I was supposed to start the accelerator, which was 2 hours away from my home in Madison, Wisconsin. I live in Neenah, near Appleton, Wisconsin, 30 miles south of Green Bay. And, I'm like, holy crap, I can't leave my family. My son was literally fighting for his life. They weighed 2 pounds. They ended up being in the NICU for months. So I told my wife, hey, babe, I'm not leaving. I'm not going, right? I'm not leaving my wife and my kids in the hospital to go 2 hours away for the next 3 months. But my wife was the one that was like, the family needs WeMontage to be successful. So we need you to go to this accelerator and rock it out because the family needs it. And, man, I tell that story a million times, and I'm always amazed that she made that choice. And I don't know how many other spouses would have made that choice under those circumstances. And I think the most important thing for an entrepreneur is, if you're married or in a really serious relationship, is to have a supportive spouse or partner.
That's definitely true. That is so true.
Yeah. So I went to the accelerator, and the next, I was back home on the weekends. We would spend all the time in the NICU. I woke up every day at 2 a.m. for the next 2 months, just couldn't get back to sleep. I cried every day. I was under this tremendous amount of pressure to build a minimum viable product to get ready for demo day so that I could raise the capital. I had an incredibly unreliable yet brilliant developer on my team while in the accelerator. But somehow I got through it. The kids are fine, thank God. My son they were in there for 10 weeks in the NICU. My son came home on oxygen. They're going to be 3 January 2nd, thank God. But the kids are great. But, without the support of a spouse and family,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have gotten through that time.
Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, once the product you have it, I mean, what was your first strategy for trying to acquire clients or get their names out?
Yeah, so so we built the website, a minimum viable product that was good enough for me to raise about $300,000 total after finishing the accelerator. But the truth was, like, it was really complicated software. It was a black box. It was really unstable. There were some key things that we needed to do. So we spent the next from July of 2013 to the end of the year, we spent that time really trying to stabilize the platform. We ended up having to pull things apart to make it modular so that we could build on top of it the things that our customers are telling us that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until the end of 2013 that we had a website that people could actually go to and place an order without me having to literally like hold their hand.
Yeah. Wow. 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 That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened? What happened? Like, how did you try to get into today's show right away? You always knew that was a target or?
Um, no. So I think it was November of 20, it might have been November 2013. NPR was doing a tweet chat. It's called The Day in the Life of a Black Tech Entrepreneur.
Mm.
And because I think I mentioned you when we were just chatting a little while ago, the term unicorn is completely overused and overrated. But living up here in Northeast Wisconsin, being a black tech entrepreneur of a funded tech startup, who, by the way, has an MBA,
Yeah.
I'm just like one other person within 50-mile radius like that where I live. So they were doing that, and I thought that would be fun because obviously NPR is huge, right? It was Tell Me More, which doesn't exist anymore, but with NPR Michelle, I forget Michelle's last name, but she was the host of that. She's really great. So I thought that would be cool, but I also noticed that my guy Mario Armstrong was curating the tweets, and I'm like, man, Mario is an awesome dude, right? I've seen him on the Today Show, I was following him on social media, and I'm like, maybe if I do this thing somehow, maybe Mario would just notice me, right? And maybe Mario would just notice WeMontage and he might like it. And maybe, just maybe, somehow, some way I could get on the Today Show. And I mean, not only did he notice me, we connected, he loved it, and he featured it in April of 2014, and then again in October of 2014. So we've been on the Today Show twice, and both times just unbelievable. The Today Show viewership is just off the charts. So like that right there is a perfect example. You hear people talking about the importance of needing to hustle, right?
Yeah.
But that right there is a perfect example of how you've always got to be hustling. Like ABH, always be hustling, because you never really know where your blessing or the next opportunity is going to come from. But the one thing we know for sure is if you're not trying, nothing is going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, at Agile Parent Entrepreneur, we're always trying to find the actual example that can help others. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of them. They're probably wondering, so how did you approach him first? I mean, what are the things you say? Yeah, with Mario. I mean, how do you approach? I mean, do you just right off a bat talk about products, or how do you start talking to him?
No, I just engaged on Twitter. Like, he's active on social media, and I just said, "Hey, what's up?" Hey, I was like, "Hey, Mario, I noticed you're curating the tweets, but like a guy like Mario, he's got like a gazillion followers,
Exactly.
And people like that, you got to send a second note, or a third note, or a fourth note."
So how many did you send?
Right, there's this fine line between being persistent and being annoying, right? But I contend that if you're not occasionally crossing over that line and annoying somebody, you're probably not trying hard enough.
There you go. I mean, this is a case. You're probably that fine line of, do I like this guy or do I not like this guy?
Yeah. Well, fortunately, he liked it right off the bat. And by the way, I see the Popeye shop Sean Singleton is in. I'm actually rocking one of his shirts right here.
Oh, I love his shirt. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
What's up, Sean? That's my dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Well, so it's really impacted your sales in terms of being featured on today's show.
Yeah, actually. So that was our largest month ever. and I think we had like $15,000 in sales that first time we got. And back then, the site wasn't even mobile optimized, even though half of my traffic was coming from mobile. I mean, so the website worked, but the collage tool was not working on mobile.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my business is like this strange thing. It's like the product is brilliant, but we created this whole new category that nobody's really looking for. Right. So it's not like people are looking for removable foldable wallpaper collages because they don't even know it exists. And they're Googling things like photo wall mural. And like that search term has been around for a million years. So try to occupy some of that real estate on Google for us is impossible. Like I wasted $20,000 on Google AdWords that those things just did not convert for us. So, but being on the Today Show, we had a beautiful write-up on marthastewart.com. That ended up getting syndicated recently on Yahoo, which was nice. So that gave us a nice month of, I think, August. We've been on the DIY network. They had a really wonderful product feature on us there, which was great for sales. And the reruns have been awesome for sales. NPR, and just a variety of other really great things. So here, Sean's going, PR and exposure is so much more valuable in my experience. Yeah, totally agree.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's actually, Sean, that's exactly the question I was going to ask you. I mean, would you say that PR has worked the best for you, aside from social media, content marketing, or SEO?
That's the only thing, really. You got to do all those other things, right? Because it provides like social proof. Because, like you said to me, you were looking me up. So you were Googling and you saw the stuff that we've done on social media and the blog, et cetera. So you're like, okay, these guys are legit.
Yeah.
Right. But once you have the social proof, you better have a website. And Sean will probably be nodding to this, what I'm about to say here. You better have a website that converts once you get people to the page, because it's so hard, as you know, to cut through all the clutter to get people to look, because there's so many things vying for people's attention right now. But once you get them there should be, a beautiful environment that will inspire people to want to get into your funnel. Right, Sean?
Well, by the way, Sean got a really good website, so I would recommend everybody to go check it out. Pop Life Shop. Yeah,
Sean, put your link in there. Man, I interviewed Sean on my blog, and I love him because his company is all about celebrating fatherhood. And as a dad of 2.5-year-old twins, I'm actually a working home dad, as the shirt says. Right, my kids are in daycare twice a week. They just started preschool twice a week, which is only an hour and a half. So a couple of days a week, I'm over here hustling, while the kids are going crazy. A perfect example is just the other day, I was on the phone with the son-in-law of a really popular, soon-to-be son-in-law of a really popular TV daytime talk show host.
Wow.
Right? Talking about making a WeMontage for him because he's on with his fiance, talking about the wedding and stuff. And my daughter's like yelling at me about some toy that had a dying battery and it wasn't working for her.
Yeah, I had the same experience talking to the CEO, and then the kids started. Yeah, totally. I understand. Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, I see Your 15 Minutes Radio. I actually met Your 15 Minutes Radio in the last live chat that I did. How's it going? See, 7th of July, Lucky. What's going on? Angela H. Hey, Angela. I'm just saying hi to some people. Ola. Hey, Ola. Just saying hi to folks. Hi.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Okay. Well, I think that's what you talked about with the kids at home. And a lot of people want to, we got some great response too here. How do you manage it? How do you stay focused? I mean, you got the kids there, and a lot of people say, it's crazy. How do you stay focused and with your business strategy?
It is crazy. I don't know. I just
still trying to figure it out.
I don't even know. I don't even have do these two things, right? I don't. It's so crazy. I just did I posted something on Facebook on my personal page the other day. Hey, Startup Dad. Do you know Startup Dad HQ?
No. Yeah.
You should know Joel. He's
okay,
got a great,
I should know him. Yes.
Yes, you guys should connect.
Yes.
So I posted something, a random comment on Facebook, about if the age of 3 is worse than the age of 2, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to have to up my liquor game, right? So then all these people just started chiming in with these hilarious comments. So I'm like, okay, this is too funny. I'm going to write a blog post, which I did, and it's just been going crazy. Basically, the title was, if your kid's terrible too, for treacherous 3s, you better up your liquor game. So I just think, right, I think I'm going to have to keep a fresh collection of bottles of wine. They've been driving me to the jacuzzi hot tub at the end of the day. But the bottom line is you just got to put your head down. You got to try to find. For us, it's harder because we live in Northeast Wisconsin and we don't have family here.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So and my wife, she works in marketing at Kimberly-Clark, so she has a relatively demanding job and she travels occasionally. But we just don't have.
So it's really you in terms of taking care of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, we have a babysitter occasionally, but we're trying to watch our coins, so we don't want to have to spend money on that as best we can.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a lot of me, and I'm also the primary cook in the house. I'm also cooking for the family. But in terms of like what the drive is, I had one person tell me I'm the most driven person they've ever met. So I'm just inherently driven to succeed. So I don't know any different. Just put your head down. Just stay focused and do the best you can. That's it.
And right now, do you have anybody helping you out in terms of do you find freelancers to help you out with a certain task, or you just do everything yourself?
Yeah, no. So I do have some developers that I work with on an as needed basis for both like front end web development and back end. So our website's built on Ruby on Rails.
Okay.
I don't know Rails, so anytime anything needs to get done, and even our web app, the Collage tool, is Angular JavaScript. I certainly don't know anything about that. So anytime we need to change, I got to get my devs to make those changes for me. So yeah, but other than that, like, marketing, social media, finance, accounting, that's all me.
Wow. And where do you find your freelancers? Upwork or?
Well, just do relationships and networking.
Really the relationship that you find most useful?
Like I've tried some of those other things, but I never like Odesk and Elance.
Yeah. That's what I use, but yeah.
I never pull a trigger on that. Thankfully I have a good enough network of people, and thankfully these guys have startup friendly rates.
Okay, that's good.
And like Sean said, you got to work with guys you trust. That's the other thing. Like just going on Elance and hiring some dude over in the Ukraine and giving him or her access to my back end stuff. Like no way. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. And looking back, I mean, now, it's been about 2.5 years that you started. Anything what advice would you give for the people who are, parent entrepreneur and they're trying to get this done? Advice.
Like I said, make sure you have lots of bottles of wine in the cooler.
That I do. So I think I'm set.
You got to make sure you have a supportive spouse. Like that's the main, like other than having a good business or service for which people will longer pay you enough money so that you can actually grow the business. You got to have a supportive spouse, because without that, I don't see how things work. I think the business could die, or the relationship or marriage could actually end because of the pressure, because there's so much uncertainty around entrepreneurship. I know a lot of people think it's sexy, but like that's the most important thing. And, to try to have clear roles and expectations with your spouse or partner as it relates to the kids. But even then, you got to make sure you set aside time to like go on dates with each other, because just the day-to-day grind of, taking care of the kids and all that life stuff just gets in the way and like hurts your relationship. So you got to make sure you set aside time and just spend quality time with your partner, even if it's just like watching TV together or something like that. You got to find time to stay connected with your spouse or significant other. I think that's the most important thing.
And when you were talking to your spouse about this business idea, did you even do any research, or you kind of like, you saw the vision and then you just went for it?
What kind of research? You
mean? Business research. Did you test the market? Did you do the market research, or?
I did, but it's just like it's just like a business plan. Like a business plan never survives the first customer contact. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that Walmart. No, it's true. I mean, I knew that there's $500 million a year spent in wall art. There's $1 billion a year spent on wallpaper, right? But none of that means anything as it relates to whether or not my business is going to be successful. And my original business model was to work specifically with photographers and interior designers. And like all my initial conversations, I put up a splash page on LaunchRock, which LaunchRock has completely pivoted to something else right now. And it had all this interest. I collected like almost 1,000 names, right? So I had a bunch of people like ready to go that I could email once I had my alpha site or beta site ready to go. But, once I was ready and I started trying to connect with these people, it was crickets. All right. So, I mean, yeah, people will say one thing, but when you actually have something to sell and you have something to offer, that's something completely different. I'm sure like Sean could attest to this. People probably, oh my God, this is great. But they may or may not actually come to his website and place an order, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're not selling stuff, like what are you doing if you have a business?
There you go. Yes. Okay. Well, that's I think Sean said oftentimes the market will drive what your product really is.
That's exactly right, because that's a perfect example of that. When I first started, I thought that we were going to just be completely large format, which made sense if we're working with photographers and interior designers, right? The minimum size we were selling was 6 feet by 4 feet, which was $240. But what I started finding was the people that were actually buying from us were just regular people, right? Not photographers, not interior designers. And my primary customer right now is a middle-aged mom. That's who buys most of our stuff. We have some business customers. I really want to try to figure out how to get more of those, because they spend like 3 to 5x more than the average customer, which spends, who spends about $100 per transaction with us.
Yeah.
But once the customer started making the purchases and I started getting those requests for smaller sizes, once I started offering the smaller sizes, we started selling a lot more.
Yeah. No, definitely. So, you're just going to listen to the market and listen to your target audience. So
exactly. So customer feedback is incredibly invaluable. So I use intercom.io as our in-app CRM. Like anytime somebody pings me on that thing, I get a message on my website, on my computer screen here, but also it pops up on my app on my phone. And that's just tremendous, because people will tell you exactly what they like and what they don't like about your product or service. And the other thing is they're always blown away by my responsiveness and the level of service that I give them. And you probably can relate to this, but it's so hard to get good service these days.
Yeah, no, and then especially when I see your website, I saw the video about us and you talking about what this company is about. I feel like I'm connected to you.
Yeah, well,
and it's so important these days.
Yeah, but then you also have to have the credibility, Marcus, right? Having a Today Show. I had customers tell me, I saw that Today Show video on your homepage, so I felt comfortable placing an order. So you have to have social proof. And Sean's right. Your customer feedback is so valuable. So
yeah. Definitely. You got to do everything together, and that's what you've been doing. And plus, you also have a blog.
Oh, yeah.
So at the same time.
Yeah. So I have my blog. It's Trep Life Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trep Life. I'm typing that in. TrepLifeDad.com. So I'm a parent.
Yes, I agree with Sean. It's an awesome blog. It's a great message out there.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm a parent entrepreneur advocate. And on the blog, I created the blog to be a place for people to get inspired, for parent entrepreneurs to inspire one another. Because let's face it, like being a parent is one thing, being an entrepreneur is another thing, but being a parent entrepreneur is what I like to call a tertium quid. Like it's a third thing, right? And there's a few blogs out there in the parent entrepreneur space, but there just aren't a lot. So I thought it was good to have an authentic voice, and the things that I share are about my experiences. I share the good and the ugly, right? When I make these bad, horrible mistakes, I share that too, so people can learn. So, I see a lot of really popular blogs. I'm not going to say any names, but with a lot of like clickbait type things and a lot of platitudes. And like to me, there's no 3 steps to being a killer parent entrepreneur. I just don't, So I don't write about those types of things. I just really share about the journey and the struggle and the wins and the inspiration, and just try to connect with other parent entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in general, in some sense.
Well, definitely. But I think parent entrepreneur, it's especially difficult because we got kids going on, and then we got, becoming a parent entrepreneur. So it's not like we can go out and say, well, kids stay home and we'll just go out network, right? So, So to have that space, there's a difference.
Sure. So Sean asked the question, is there a difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner? I don't know. What do you think, Sean? I have no idea. Business owners are entrepreneurs, I guess, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Would Sean be interested in coming and join it with us, and then see what he thinks about the difference between entrepreneur and business owner?
Oh, I don't know, Sean. Are you in the
Are you ready? Are you camera ready, or are you in your?
Right. Are you in the restroom chatting with us? Like, what's going on? Open seat. Come on, Sean.
Come on. Put on your makeup.
Put on your makeup and pop in here, man. Well, anyway, is he coming? There he is. Yeah, baby.
I actually wanted to have an interview with Sean a while ago, and
Yeah.
I figured, we'll do it together. Hi, Sean.
Hello.
What's up, man? He's repping his fatherhood T-shirt. That's what's up, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah, I
course.
need a t-shirt too.
Pop life here,
Fatherhood 24/7 shop. That's what's up, baby. Hey, I got to get one of those T-shirts from you, like football season. Don't bother me, whatever that.
Oh yeah, you got to get one before the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, since you like the shirts. Yes.
Hey, why don't everybody just talk to Sean? Can you just introduce everybody your business? Because I think it's a great business model. I really like it.
Yeah, well, my business is the Pop Life shop, and basically what we do is we create T-shirts that are based around promoting responsible fatherhood. It's all about dads like James that are doing whatever they can, hustling for their family, being present dads that are out there doing whatever they can for their family. And it doesn't matter if you're a dude working at McDonald's, 16, 20 hours a week to make a little extra money for your family, or if you're a CEO of, a major corporation. It's just about, just having a positive, actually just being proud. It's more about, an internal thing. It's about being proud to be a dad because, I grew up without a dad. I didn't have a dad around that was hustling like James to, make sure that, the family was taken care of. And so, when I meet dads like James and some of the other guys that I've met through this journey,
and Joel, right?
You see a wide variety of guys.
Yeah, I think that's a big trend too. I mean, there are more and more dads that say, listen, I want to spend more time with my kids. And that's why we become entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And that's why
we become.
Yeah. And that's why James's blog is if you read through it, it's just a lot of everyday experiences. Not like James was saying earlier, it's not about, a lot of entrepreneur blogs that you read, they're about hustling, hustle, make that money kind of thing. And when you read through James's blog, a lot of it is about just your everyday experiences, whether it's the little things about how to promote your business or your website. It's real advice and it's real experiences as opposed to coming off as a guru that's going to make you rich, tomorrow, overnight or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's funny you use that word guru. Like I abhor that word. And it's interesting. Like the more I have, the longer I'm on this journey, like, and the older I get, quite frankly, I got a bunch of gray hairs from the but like the older I get, the more I realize I really know nothing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And, but for me, it's so liberating to say, you know what? I don't know. Because now it takes the pressure off to how to try to act like I know everything.
Yeah, and the thing that I've learned because I've run a business before. I'm a web developer, which is my career, my profession, and I owned a business and ran a web development business for several years, and I still do that to this day as my job. But you learn just by doing. There's so many things that you learn. When I left my full-time job to start my first business, I just jumped right in. I didn't know anything about running a business. I didn't know anything about, handling books, marketing. I learned everything just kind of on the go. And the same thing when I opened the Pop Life shop, it's a completely different thing than running a web development business. It's a website, which I know about, I know about building websites and I know about running websites, designing websites, things like that. But the whole aspect of marketing and customer retention and all of the little things that you don't necessarily think about when you decide, hey, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to get rich overnight, and I'm going to take care of my family and we're going to be making, $300,000 a year. There's a lot of things that you don't think about that you just learn. And I think most entrepreneurs are like that. They're not afraid to just learn what they need to do to make things happen.
Yeah, I think getting rich cannot be the only motivation for starting a business, though, because at the end of the day, starting a business is really hard.
Yeah.
And if you're not vested in this idea on some more substantial level, like for me, my purpose in life, I've discovered, is to be an entrepreneur, be a successful entrepreneur, and inspire others to do the same thing. right? Which is part of the reason I have the blog. So, but if you're not, vested in the business on that level, when things get hard, and they will get hard, it's just too easy to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, do something.
Too easy to quit.
Yeah, would you say, I've noticed a lot of parent entrepreneurs, like when you have kids, that's where things change. Your perspective of how you do business, how you think of your business just change at that point, like ground zero kind of thing. Did you go through that kind of experience?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I told you, I started the business while my kids were in a NICU.
Yeah.
So in the back of my mind, I'm always like, I gotta provide for the kids as best I can. But the other thing for me is one of my motivating factors. My motivations is I want to be a shining example to my children of what's possible when you choose, because it is a choice, when you choose to live an authentic, purpose-driven life and not just make the safe choices. Because I wrote this on the blog, I think it's risky playing it safe. Like, you don't want to be that dude when you get to the end of your life, you're on your deathbed and be like, man, I wish I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Because as far as we know, there are no do-overs, right?
Awesome. Yeah. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah. The funny thing is that, like James said, is when you do this, the hope is that you're kind of inspiring your children. The funny thing is my oldest daughter is 14 and she is hell-bent on opening her own t-shirt shop, e-commerce store. So she's been working on this for like over the summer, and she will not let me.
Potential customer, actually. Yeah.
She refuses to let me help her. I'm like, let me help you get this set up. She's like, no, I'm going to do it myself. And even my 7-year-old, my 9-year-old, they hate when I go back to an office job. Like, so, from time to time, I'm in the office. I'll be working a full-time job, and they got so used to me being at home. That's kind of what their expectation is, that dads can be at home and take care of them and be there for them. They love that aspect of having, me home and be able to work, and they're interested in what I do. They talk about it to their friends. They talk about it to adults. It's kind of funny. It's like they're my own little PR machine. But
that's cool. I never thought about it from that perspective, Sean. I guess as my kids get older, I'll start to see some of that too.
You'll definitely, because they'll want to emulate you. I mean, when my son was little, when he was like 2 or 3, a lot of times he would he'd come into the house or come into the room that I was in, and he'd be wearing like what he would consider like business clothes or whatever. So he'd go get something out of his drawers, closet, or whatever. He'd put on a little hat. He'd go find something like, his mom's purse or something, and he would say that's his work bag. Like he's getting ready to go to work, and he'd sit down, and we had two, the old house, we had two desks, one, 2 computers, and I would be working on one. He'd come in and he'd sit down at that little desk, and he'd just start tapping on the keyboard as if he was working right next to me. So it's imprinted on them. So, I'm sure your kids will see this as well. The fact that you're home all the time, but they notice that you're working. They know that you're working, even though it doesn't seem like it, because they come in and it's like, the battery's broken on my toy. I need chocolate milk right now.
Well, you're talking on the phone
for me. They know that you're working. They know what you're doing. They see this, and they're taking all that in. And I'm seeing this now, because even with my stepsons, they talk about it to their friends, and all the kids are just, they're so excited. They think it's so cool to see, that I sit here at this computer, and, they see me working on t-shirts all the time. They see me working on designs all the time, and they take an interest in it. And I think it inspires them either to do something on their own, or it just the knowledge that a dad or any parent can do something like this. And in a way, we kind of make it look easy. I mean, I'm sure to them, it just looks like we sit on the computer and, we make money, and that's it. And that's all there really is to it. Mm-hmm. And that's probably a good thing. I mean, we want them to see that it's, it's not a difficult journey, but at the same time, we want to inspire them to try it themselves.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah. And I think just what you guys are talking about right now, really inspires a lot of parent entrepreneurs. And again, it's because we're here, right? We're sitting, we got kids, and we got business. And you often think, am I just alone doing this? Is it worth it? Am I crazy? But I think listening to you guys really means that, there's tons of us doing this. And especially, I think with dad doing it, it's especially special.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, I tried to get Mario to pop in here because he's a parent entrepreneur. He's a media entrepreneur, TV personality, but he says he's taking a shower. He said, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That's so cool. I don't understand how he's taking a shower and texting me back. I don't understand.
That would be a whole completely different interview.
Yeah, well, I don't know what your relationship with him is. That's
not like that. But anyway.
Yeah, well, I think
exactly.
I think we're scheduled about 40 minutes for this, and so thanks a lot for you guys. I think this is awesome. We should do it again and make it a party.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Do it. I know. Why not? No, you know what? I am going to do it, and you're coming with me, James.
Let's do it for sure.
Yeah. Okay, we'll plan that, and thanks a lot, everybody. Sean for popping in, and then Angela's here too, and
Diana,
and then there's Helen Kisley. That's
Hyacinth Kinley. Yeah, she's a friend of my mom when I was a kid. We go way back like car seats and fat crayons.
Fat crayons.
All right. Well, let's talk next time. Let's talk and find a nice, fun topic to talk about again.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, cheers.
Thanks a lot.